Introducing the Greyhound, the dog breed known for its sleek, aerodynamic features and amazing speed, but only when it's absolutely necessary. With legs so sleek they look like they were designed by a luxury car company, it's no wonder why a Greyhound's elegant silhouette was picked as the logo for an iconic bus company. However, don't let this image fool you. While Greyhound buses fly through highways transporting folks across the United States in little time, the Greyhound prefers to stick to short bursts of lightning-fast speed followed by an immediate default to their usual couch potato mode. Considering adopting a Greyhound? These fascinating facts about Greyhounds will intrigue you and perhaps make you even wonder whether this dog breed is for real. Let's discover more about these intriguing sleek dogs. 1. Greyhounds are sighthounds. Greyhounds are categorized as sighthounds, also known as gazehounds. Sighthounds are dogs that were selectively bred to rely on their sight in order to hunt down rabbits and hares running across the desert. Several other dog breeds are part of the sighthound group, including the Afghan Hound, Borzoi, Azawak, Saluki, Italian Greyhound, and Whippet, to name a few. 2. Greyhounds are very fast. Actually, Greyhounds are considered to be the fastest dogs on Earth. Measuring 68 to 76 centimeters at the withers and weighing anywhere between 27 and 32 kilos, these sleek dogs have been known to reach speeds up to 42 miles per hour. 3. Greyhounds are deep-chested dogs. In general, it can be said that the deep chest allows greater lung capacity, which helps enhance a dog's endurance and athleticism. A Greyhound's deep chest allows more room to accommodate the heart, which translates into an improved ability to pump more blood and oxygen to the dog's muscles. While a deep chest offers several advantages, one big disadvantage is an increased risk for bloat. This is because deep chests allow more room for the stomach to distend and potentially twist on itself. 4. Greyhounds have a visual streak. Spotting prey animals across wide-open lands required special vision. Rabbits in particular can be quite fast, and they like to camouflage among the cacti and brush. The eyes of Greyhounds and several other sighthounds are therefore specifically crafted for the task and share special features that make them excel. In particular, sighthounds are known for having eyes equipped with what's known as a visual streak. The visual streak is a horizontally aligned area in the retina lined up with ganglion cells. It is a characteristic associated with dogs blessed with long muzzles who needed to heavily rely on their peripheral vision to hunt. This visual streak permits a wide field of view with excellent vision, allowing these dogs to easily detect predators on the horizon. 5. Greyhounds have a wide field of vision. An animal's field of vision varies and depends to a great extent on eye placement. Generally, prey animals such as cows, zebras, and horses have their eyes set wide apart, so as to allow them the widest field of vision possible so that they can watch for danger in all directions, especially when grazing. This lateral eye placement allows them to watch in two directions at once. Predators such as cats, primates, and owls instead have eyes that are placed closer in front of the face, which allows them more depth perception, something that comes handy when they need to track and pounce on their prey. A good way to remember this general guideline is this interesting saying which also rhymes: eyes in the front, the animal hunts. Eyes on the side, the animal hides. Interestingly though, when it comes to sighthounds, they are an exception to the rule. Their narrow heads allow their eyes to be quite lateral, which gives them quite an impressive field of vision, in particular to the sides and far in front of them. A Greyhound is known for having a field of vision of up to 270 degrees, which is quite impressive compared to us humans who have a mere 180-degree field of vision. The Greyhound even beats other dogs, considering that the average dog has a field of vision around 240 to 250 degrees. 6. Greyhounds metabolize drugs differently. Greyhounds, as several other sighthounds, tend to metabolize drugs differently. Their lean bodies, with a lower fat body ratio, and livers, which are less efficient in metabolizing drugs, cause certain drugs to stick around for longer with harsher effects. This makes these dogs more sensitive to anesthetic drugs. It's therefore important talking to the vet prior to any surgical procedure or consulting with a specialist, like a board-certified diplomate of the American College of Veterinary Anesthesia, and analgesia. 7. Greyhounds have a big heart. Not only do greyhounds have a big heart from an affectionate standpoint, but from a physical one too. According to a study, the largest heart in a greyhound was found in the racer Victorious Red. This is likely because the breed has been selectively bred for generations for the strenuous exercise of coursing, which led to these dogs having a proportionately large heart at birth. Their hearts respond to training by enlarging to an unusual degree, explains the study. Coursing entailed the pursuit of game by swift dogs, mostly greyhounds and other sighthounds. This hunting technique was commonly practiced by nobles in the Middle Ages and consisted of dogs chasing and hunting prey animals such as rabbits, deer, foxes, and hare mainly by sight. 8. Greyhounds have spaced teeth. Dogs with long heads, a trait that is known as dolichocephalic and is typical of greyhounds, share some interesting characteristics which makes them quite different compared to other dogs. If you look at their teeth, their longer jaws can make them appear as if they have gaps between one tooth and another. The medical term for this extra spacing is diastema, the Greek word for interval, meaning spacing between two adjacent teeth. In some cases, the space may be so wide that to some people it may appear as if they're missing teeth, but they are not, explains Dr. Cedric Tutt in the book Small Animal Dentistry, a Manual of Techniques. 9. Greyhounds have arched loins. The most notorious arched loins are found in many sighthound dog breeds such as the greyhound. Such arched loins give the breed a touch of elegance. In ancient Greece, greyhounds were seen as symbols of speed and beauty, and they were often depicted in their artwork. It's the back that rises a little at the loin area that have made greyhounds popular muses for several Art Deco statues. What's the function of the arched loin? The arched loin allows flexibility of the spine so that a greyhound's rear legs can be tucked well under at a gallop, allowing them to cover more ground with each stride. 10. Greyhounds have a special blood. Veterinarians have been aware of the fact that greyhounds tend to have out-of-the-norm results when it comes to their blood work for quite some time. In particular, greyhounds tend to have higher packed cell volumes, red blood cell counts, creatinine, and higher hemoglobin concentrations compared to other dog breeds. Other abnormalities include low white blood cell counts, with low lymphocyte, neutrophil, and monocyte counts, and also low platelet counts. Not to mention abnormal granulation in eosinophils and low plasma or serum protein concentrations. The term greyhound bleeders was coined to depict the phenomenon where some greyhounds start bleeding spontaneously or as a result of minor trauma following simple surgical procedures. The delayed onset bleeding tends to manifest as an area of extensive bruising extending from the surgical site. According to a survey filled out by 30 veterinarians involved with rescues housing retired greyhounds, 20 vets reported noticing this phenomenon. The consensus was that 10 to 15% of greyhounds undergoing surgery bleed profusely within 1 to 4 days, following simple procedures such as spays, neuters, dew claw removals, and laparotomies. Furthermore, on a more positive note, greyhounds make great blood donors courtesy of many of them presenting with the DEA 1.1 blood type, which is the blood type of universal donors. This means that greyhound blood can be used to treat nearly any dog. On top of this, their lean bodies along with their prominent veins makes blood collection a rather effortless affair. 11. Greyhounds have a double suspension gallop. The double suspension gallop is seen in the greyhound and whippet. This gait is asymmetrical, and like the gallop, consists of 4 phases. Unlike the gallop, though, there are 2 suspension periods. While this is the fastest gait, it doesn't offer endurance, which is why greyhound races last very little. 12. Greyhounds wear muzzles when racing. Many people assume that greyhounds are aggressive because they must wear muzzles when they are racing. This can sometimes discourage potential foster homes or those wishing to adopt a retired racing greyhound. Racing greyhounds, though, are typically raised among other greyhounds and are used to their presence from an early age. Most have good skills in reading dog body language and play well with other greyhounds. So why do greyhounds wear muzzles when they race if it's not because they are aggressive? The purpose of the muzzle in this case is to protect one greyhound from another as they are excitedly racing nose to nose. According to Greyhound Crossroads, when greyhounds are racing, they do so with their mouths open. A bump with a tooth into another greyhound at 40 miles per hour or more can cause injuries in this breed with a thin, delicate skin. The muzzle can therefore help prevent potential injuries in these valuable animals. Additionally, muzzles during races may prevent greyhounds from trying to damage the artificial lure at the end of a race and help determine which greyhound wins the race when competing nose-to-nose at the finish line. 13. Greyhounds have necks larger than their head. This anatomical quirk may seem like no biggie until you try to fit a greyhound with a regular collar, and the greyhound backs up and ends up slipping out of it in some sort of Houdini magic show. Introducing the martingale collar. The martingale collar is particularly suitable for dogs with necks that are larger than their head, hence its other names, greyhound collar or whippet collar. A martingale collar offers more control compared to a regular buckle collar. It's equipped with two distinctive loops, a larger loop, which is often made of fabric that is slipped over the dog's head, and the smaller loop, known as the control loop, which can be made of chain or fabric, that has a ring that is used to attach the leash to it. If the dog tries to back out of the collar, the tension on the leash causes the small loop to become taut, causing the large loop around the dog's neck to tighten and prevent escape. 14. Greyhounds have fast metabolisms. We are so used to seeing plump dogs where there is enough fat to hide the ribs that the moment we see a dog with ribs protruding, we assume they must be malnourished. In the leaner dog breeds, such as Salukis and Greyhounds, it is normal for the ribs to be exposed. Even if sighthounds like the Greyhound were to eat their normal portion of food, they tend to remain skinny due to their fast metabolism, which causes them to gain very little or no weight. 15. Greyhounds often wear coats. When it comes to coat types in dogs, there are two variants, dogs with single coats and dogs with double coats. Single-coated dogs, as the name implies, only have a layer of hair. Therefore, they lack an undercoat. Dogs with a single layer of hair include several breeds designed to tolerate well-warm climates, such as the Chihuahua, Mexico, Azawak, Egypt, Basenji, Congo, Cirneco del Etna, Sicily, and Greyhounds, ancient Egypt. Many sighthounds have short, thin, single coats and little body mass. Their short coats and little fat causes them to rely on a coat to stay warm. Whippets and greyhounds are notorious for wearing winter coats, and the Greyhound Rescue recommends a coat along with other essentials for their potential greyhound adopters. 16. Greyhounds are independent thinkers. Greyhounds were primarily found in habitats consisting of wide-open lands in the desert, where their main purpose was to hunt and chase down quick-moving prey such as deer or hare. This required unique features such as a slim build to achieve speed and agility, the ability to detect the slightest motion from a distance, a very flexible back, long legs, a deep chest, efficient lungs, and a large, powerful heart. Because sighthounds like the Greyhound have a history of mostly working at a distance from humans with very little guidance, they are often portrayed as independent thinkers. 17. Retired greyhounds make excellent pets. Every year, thousands of greyhounds are retired from the racetrack and put up for adoption. Owners looking for a dog who is friendly and rather docile may find a greyhound to be their best friend. According to a study conducted by James Serpell, Deborah L. Duffy, and Yu Ying Su, greyhounds were among several other breeds that ranked as the least aggressive toward both humans and dogs. Greyhounds tend to be peaceful with medium to large breeds of dogs, but a watchful eye must be kept when around cats and tiny dogs because of their heritage as chasers. However, many greyhounds can learn to coexist with these smaller pets with close supervision and gentle guidance. Overall, greyhounds are very docile dogs blessed with a sweet temperament. They truly make wonderful companions. Could a greyhound be the perfect match for your home? Surprisingly, they are generally laid back if you provide them with regular opportunities to romp a few times a week. Because of their chasing tendencies, though, they require a safely enclosed yard and must be always kept on leash and on a safe martingale collar, when out and about on walks. Enjoyed this video? Please like and subscribe for more fascinating dog discoveries.